everyone, welcome to today's video. I wanted to make this video a long time ago and I didn't want to because of some legal stuff. I really wanted to share this with you as a lot of people have been asking about my house, and to be honest, me and Tom no longer live there and we actually moved out after 10 days, which was just very heartbreaking. So I thought I would tell you what happened to the house and why we're currently not living there. So if you have been a follower of my channel for a while, then you know that I moved house in August, and I moved house at the beginning of August and we ended up moving out on that bank holiday weekend of the last weekend of August. So we really didn't have that long in there. So I obviously posted a house tour. That was moving day. I was so excited. Me and Tom was very excited to start this new chapter together because we have been together for 5 years, so a long time in a house with 3 other people, 3 other adults, was getting a bit much, especially with lockdown and stuff, and we really wanted our own space. So we thought that we would move, and we thought we'd just rent for now and then buy later on. So the house we got was rented, and what happened was the first night was great. Everything was amazing. We basically unpacked everything in the first day. There was only one room in the house that didn't have any things in, and on the second day I was in the house by myself while Tom was at work, and there was really loud music playing through the walls, and this was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but the music was so loud that I could actually hear every single word of the song, and it kind of made a feeling of dread because you always hear about kind of nightmare neighbours. So after that experience I went round and knocked on, and the family next to us was a family that had kids and adults in and out all the time. So I went round and the 2 children answered the door and I asked them to turn the music down, and they did. I think they were left alone in the house and they were only about 10 to 12 years old. Then the music stopped, so I thought, okay, that's fine. And then again in the night time we had really loud music. So Tom went round to ask them to turn it down and they were okay, they were fine with that. Then it came to the next night, exactly the same, but it's always starting from about 4 o'clock in the afternoon all the way up to about 10 o'clock at night. And then even sometimes it was a lot later. But to work and then come home and then that's all you can hear just wasn't great. So Tom ended up going around the next night, which was the Friday night. He ended up going and knocking on about 3 times during the night, asking them to please be quiet. You know, we've been at work all day. This family didn't work. They didn't have jobs. They were just in the house all the time, and they were okay at first, and then they started with like the threatening. They used to threaten Tom, and it came to I think it was the first weekend, and Tom ended up going round, and what happened was that this house, who lived next to us, knew a lot of people around that area, and they had like some kind of party going on, and the music was blasting through the walls. Tom went round and there was about 7 or 8 people, adults, all screaming at him. They even stepped out onto the street with him, and I thought they were going to have some kind of fight, which terrified me. And yeah, that was kind of the final straw. Their first language wasn't English, so they understood what we were saying, but they also didn't want to understand at the same time. So that happened on that night, and I'd already called the police, and apparently the police can't do anything with the noise, and you do it all through the council, and with that takes months in advance anyway, and then obviously with the current virus going around it would take even longer because they're not even doing anything like that. So we decided so we kind of left it, and we just thought, right, we're going to try and get on with them, because after that situation happened and with them all shouting at Tom in the street and Tom came inside, they actually apologized later on. So we was like, right, we'll give it another go. But I was like crying my eyes out. I did not feel safe in my house. I was always watching my car because I was terrified that someone was going to ruin or key my car, because they just weren't very nice people. So after all that shouting and the threatening, that night we decided, right, we'll give it another go. And then it came to it, we still had music for days on end, on and off, on and off. And then it came to one night where they were having people round shouting in the street. They were playing music really loud, even though they have children. So that's what happened for a few nights. And it came to one night where, this was only a few days later, where the kids were screaming and shouting all night, to the point where I actually had to work the next day and I was running on about 3 hours sleep, because I just couldn't I couldn't get to sleep throughout all the noise, because their bedroom was also attached to our bedroom, so everything that was going on we could hear perfectly clear. So we ended up buying earbuds and stuff, but they just didn't end up working for me. They worked sometimes for Tom, on and off, but we did give it 10 days, and after that it really deteriorated my mental health as well. I felt like I wasn't safe, which obviously panics me, and then all my anxieties start flooding in. And especially because we was under a 12-month lease, that really scared me. We had only just sorted out the Wi-Fi, we'd sorted out like the TV, all the bills, and then we'd have to cancel them all, which was terrifying me as well. And then it came to the final night that we decided to stay there, and the owner of the house next door, when Tom went round to complain about the noise again, he started threatening with all sorts and saying, do not come back to this house, otherwise there's going to be a massive problem, and just started shouting and screaming. And his wife was exactly the same, and we could always hear them talking about us in the back garden, because they'd always be out there with loads of their friends. So I felt a bit ganged up on. But yeah, you never think that the nightmare neighbour situation is gonna happen to you. Like, I've seen so many programs on it, and yeah, it was just a terrible experience. So I kind of kept it hidden from my mum and dad for a while, and I'd still pop over quite a lot, because for the first week we didn't actually have any Wi-Fi, and we didn't want to buy like a broadband package straight away. We wanted to use Netflix and stuff, so we ended up popping over there to like download some stuff on Netflix and things. But yeah, so I kept it quiet from my mum and dad, and then after the whole threatening situation that happened again, I kind of told them the whole story, and they basically told us to come home straight away. And the house is only 10 minutes from my mum and dad, so it was very close. So yeah, we ended up packing up all of our stuff on the next day. We ended up sleeping, where did we sleep? I think, yeah, we ended up sleeping on a mattress on the floor in my mum and dad's house. And we have now permanently moved there. That's why I haven't done any room tours or room transformations, because I am currently in my box bedroom. So when I filmed my videos before, I actually had one of the bigger bedrooms, but after I moved out, my brother moved in there. He changed everything, as you do, because you think that you're going to live there. And yeah, so that room was his, and he had been in the box room for years and years and years. So me and Tom agreed just to go into the box room, because at this point we was very happy and very lucky to actually have parents like that would actually welcome us back with open arms. So yeah, so that's why I'm no longer in my house. So we was there 10 days, and then we moved out everything about a week later. All the furniture we bought is some of it is in my house now, which is my mum and dad's house. Some of it is distributed between lots of mine and Tom's family members, which I'm so grateful for. But it is just a heartbreaking situation when you think you finally got your independence, your own place, and me and Tom was really ready for this. It's just a bit rubbish. So yeah, I've had quite a few people asking me for like a completed house tour, and when I uploaded that video of my house tour, that's when the problems had already started, about a day after, and I kept seeing all these comments, and it was really heartbreaking because everyone seemed to really like that video and ask for more. But I just thought I'd tell you, I am actually filming. This is actually in my mum and dad's bedroom because I can't actually film in my room because it's that small. So yeah, me and Tom's going to think about moving out next year, 2021, but hopefully try and buy a house. So we were very lucky with the estate agent, so we told the estate agent about what happened, and apparently they knew nothing about the neighbours, even though the council and the police already know about my neighbours in that house. So I do think they did tell us a bit of a lie there, and since me and Tom had moved out, because we were very lucky to get out of the contract, someone else has moved in, and by the looks of things they've also moved out, so it must have been obviously for the same reasons, because there's currently no one living in that house now. But I really wanted to tell this story quite soon after it happened, but I wasn't in the right headspace. I was still devastated. Even now it really upsets me talking about it, because you just feel like, especially with everything that's gone on this year, it was kind of another major blow for us. So yeah, sorry this isn't a upbeat kind of video from me, but I just thought I'd let you know the situation. So obviously there will not be any more house videos, and it's took me this long to film this video because I wanted to make sure that we got our refund for the rent and my deposit back before I film this video, in case anything comes back on us. But everything is fine, we're not responsible for anything now, so that's why I am filming this video. So yeah, that is the current situation. Obviously it's not the best one, but I'm just happy to have a roof over my head, and me and Tom lived with my mum and dad before, so we can do it again. It's just not exactly what we expected. So yeah, that is the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching, and